Mortgage.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Did you know that Valley Equipment Rental also specializes in day and weekend rentals to homeowners? The weekend rentals is by far the best deal that they offer. If you pick up after 2 on a Friday or anytime Saturday morning, it's not due in until Monday morning before 8 a.m. for a one-day charge. For a small fee, Valley can even haul anything they carry. Valley has extremely experienced and knowledgeable staff that can help you decide what size machine you need or what type of machine you need to get your job done like a pro. They have all the big items that the contractors need for their jobs, but they also carry the small tools that can help you with your DIY project. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and ask for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Retail price. Eligible subscribers only. Must be 18 plus. Offer ends 9/20/23. Terms apply. Sign up now.
This is Buster Olney, host of the Baseball Tonight podcast, inviting you to join us. We go 3 days a week with great guests from players such as Mike.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
We made it to a Friday. I think we made it to a Friday. Back here at Bill Washington Stadium, it is week 2 of the high school football campaign. Region play begins here tonight, and for Madison Academy, that means J.B. Pennington will make their way in here. It'll be Tigers and Mustangs squaring off over on Zone 2, and you'll be able to hear that tonight, as I mentioned, on Zone 2. The full rundown of games going on over our airwaves will feature Buckhorn over the airwaves. Buckhorn is at home, and let's see here. Buckhorn is at home. They are taking on Gadsden City. You'd think I know because I did the promo earlier in the week. Madison Academy taking on JB Pennington 2. That is over on Zone 2, as I mentioned. Zone 3 is going to feature the Randolph Raiders at JP2, but that is actually at Discovery Middle School. That's on Zone 3. Zone 4 will feature the Sparkman Senators, who still have yet to play a full football game. Last week's game, the third and the fourth quarters were 4-minute quarters. Austin is just running right through their opponents. We'll see how they do tonight. That is on Zone 4. And wait for it, over on Zone 5 is the rivalry that is Huntsville and Grissom, as we are partnering again with our friends over at ETV and supplying the audio. Todd Blass will have the play-by-play call. Coach Tony Woods will supply the color commentary there again over at Milton Frank Stadium. And I was at Milton Frank earlier this afternoon and also last week, and Milton Frank is just beautiful. They've redone the new video board over there. There is a new lighting system, and I can vouch for the new speaker system as well over at Milton Frank too. But look forward to that rivalry getting renewed despite some issues. We are full steam ahead. I am happy to report for Huntsville Grissom, and a big thank you to the fine folks with the Huntsville school system, the Huntsville City school system, rather, as well as ETV for allowing us to be part of their broadcast as well. It's a very good relationship that we have with the folks over at ETV, so appreciate that. Wes Neighbors is on location today as he's going around about a little bit. He is going to join us right now here out of the gate. How are you, Wes?
Doing good. In Tuscaloosa, where it appears everybody in Alabama and Texas is already here.
So you missed Eddie Conyers. Eddie Conyers was on Feinbaum, and I tell you, Eddie Conyers is just fun to listen to.
Well, no question about that. He I mean, not only was he a ref when I was here, he was a ref when my dad was here. That's
crazy.
A scary thing.
He is going to turn 95 next April. So
good for him. What a great guy he is.
That was really fun to listen to. But everybody wants to hear some final opinions. It is a Pick 2 Friday after all. So let's get into it. Let's start with Auburn at Cal. This matchup just makes me nervous. How does it make you feel?
Well, so I don't know. I'm not nervous about it, of course. I think that Robbie Ashford looks so good doing a lot of things. It plays so fast. And, I don't know how Cal will be able to challenge them defensively like the teams that are going to beat Auburn will be the guys with the big defensive line. They'll have trouble moving that, with athletic teams. I think Auburn can win this game. And I think they can, win it convincingly if they show up. A lot of great points made, though, about them traveling and playing at, basically be playing at 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
And so that, and travel the country, 2 time zones always affects people. But athletically, I think Auburn's better than they have been the last 3 years. Just watching them on the hoof.
Yeah.
So this is a big game. We'll know more Monday. That's for sure.
There's no doubt about that. Texas A&M at Miami. I feel like I watched a little bit more of Texas A&M, and they did handle business in their first opponent, Miami. They look like a hot mess right now to me.
I don't know about that. Now they look pretty good the first game. I don't know about a hot mess. They're going down there. I think because it's an SEC school, that the crowd will be pretty good. This is a big game for both these guys because last year each team has to prove last year was a fluke, and the SEC doesn't need another loss against any. They don't need Auburn to lose, and they don't need Texas A&M to lose.
Yeah.
So far in non-conference opponents, it hasn't been pretty good. But I think Texas A&M will win the game, but I don't think they have a team to blow out anybody at this stage of the game.
Well, here's for hoping, because week one was not a good weekend for the Southeastern Conference, and you're down there in Tuscaloosa. All eyes are pointing to this game in particular with Alabama and Texas. How do you feel about this matchup?
Well, I mean, I think, Alabama, as I said yesterday, the offensive line has been talking about how more they're going to be physical this year. Well, here it is. It's time to show it. If Alabama whoever wins the rushing and turnover battle wins this game. Both teams will be able to complete passes. The quarterback that was a hero before he got hurt last year, and everybody talks about Quinn Ewers, has not played well on the road. Texas has not played well on the road. So, to me, it's a battle of all-season talk. Is Texas really ready for the prime time? And is Alabama offensive line going to show up and be able to move the ball, run the ball, and take the pressure off the quarterback? That, to me, is where it lies, this game, and lies. It'll be won or lost in the trenches.
Of the other matchups, they really are. Talking to Wes Neighbors, who's down in Tuscaloosa right now. The other matchups around the Southeastern Conference: Missouri playing host to Middle Tennessee. I'd like to believe Missouri can handle that decently well. And Mississippi State, Arizona, and that feels like it should be a Mississippi State win. Feels that way.
Well, I don't know what the line is. Mississippi State, from what I understand, did not look good last week.
Not in the first half.
Well.
Not in the first half.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what Missouri does against Middle Tennessee. I don't know what the line is.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. I would hope that both those teams will be able to handle business, though. But I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for either one of them in the beginning. And as the game goes along, maybe so.
Did you watch any of last night's kickoff? By the way, I was listening to it. Kevin Harlan always does such a great job, and always fun to listen to Kevin Harlan over our airwaves. And while it was a 1-point win for the Detroit Lions, and
all I can think of is Dan.
Yeah,
I watched that game, and Mahomes has, they don't have the weapons, of course, without his star tight end. They don't have the weapons. They dropped a lot of balls. And I don't think that this is the Super Bowl thing. Unless they get some of their receivers start improving.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't look like they have the weapons to do it.
Kadarius Toney had a very bad night. A very bad night.
Yeah, I mean,
but Brian Branch made the most of his opportunity.
Well, Brian Branch was a hero. We knew he'd be good. You go back and watch when he was a freshman against Auburn, how he played in that game. He battled injuries the whole time he was at Alabama. But last year, the last game, he played unbelievable also.
Indeed. Before we head off to our pick segment with our intrepid producer in Love to Lose Money, I figured you want to stick around and hear what Lovechild has to say on that. I did want to get a thought or two on Huntsville-Grissom and the rivalry that is Huntsville-Grissom again kicking off tonight.
Well, to me, it's the biggest game of the year for Huntsville and Grissom. It's it's how you're remembered if you win that game or not. It was always a battle when we were in school. I think Huntsville's on a long run. I think the Grissom's won once the last 10 years, I think.
That's right.
But, go Panthers.
All right. With that, you want to stick around? Let's we know the pick two. We've gone through the pick two. By the way, just to let you know, it's Texas at Bama Auburn at Cal, and total rushing yards combined for both Auburn and Alabama is your tiebreaker. So that is your pick 2. But we now turn things over to our producer. It's time to love to lose money.
Your money or your life. I can take money and I can make it into more money.
All right, so Wes is sticking around then, huh? You know, I figured he'd bail. So now I'm even more excited to do this today. Yeah. So
what you got for us, Love Child?
All right, I grabbed 5 games this week. I'll be honest, I kind of hated the lines this week. There were some tough ones. So I'll go in backwards order from the ones that I wrote down. We'll start with the Ole Miss Rebels at Tulane. Now, Steve, you asked me for just like some factoids on stuff after last week, so I'll give you one. I'm calling this an impromptu audition for Tulane to get back into the SEC. Ever since they left, actually not ever since they left, but since the late 80s, in their last 39 tries against SEC teams, Tulane is 2-37. Woo! Both wins, though, are against Mississippi. Wait, no, sorry, that says Mississippi State. So, yeah, 2 wins against Mississippi State, 0-37 against everybody else in their last 39 tries. So it sounds like they bit off a little bit more than they can chew here, I think. They got the wrong Mississippi school. But no, in all seriousness, at the end of the day, I really like Tulane. I think they had a great season last year. They have so much experience coming back. But I think Ole Miss is just a little bit too talented and ends up covering the 7.5 against the Green Wave. My second game, all right, this is my favorite one, guys. I got Iowa at Iowa State. Steve West, do you know anything about this rivalry?
Unfortunately, my name is not Scott Tyson, so no. I don't know.
You should ask Scott sometime.
All I know is Iowa does not score a whole lot of points.
Wow, looks like
but
Wes
they have a
left.
decent defense.
Come on, Wes. It was just about to get good. Yeah. All right, well then, Steve, it's time for a little history lesson. On certain corners of the internet, Iowa versus Iowa State is known as El Asico. I don't know if I could say it on the air. Should I hit the dump button?
No, you're good.
All right, well, I'm just going to read kind of a quick write-up from Banner Society. Did you ever read their stuff when they were...
no, that was not in my highlights magazine growing up. No.
All right, well, I'll just read from here to summarize it. El Asico brings out the worst in both teams. They fumble, they punt some more, they play down to each other, and sometimes rent heavy equipment and begin tunneling under the very surface of the earth to submarine even your lowest expectations. They do not score. El Asico hears your order for a steak and returns to the table with a charred hamburger patty. That's an actual write-up on the game. So, and if you want proof of that, let's start with the 2014 edition. Iowa State won the game 20-17 on a last-minute field goal. The thing was that they missed the first attempt, but Kirk Ferentz called a timeout, giving them a second try, and they made the second one and won the game. From 2006 to 2010, Iowa State went 17 whole quarters without scoring a touchdown against Iowa. Almost 5 years. However, in 2007, in the middle of that streak, Iowa State actually beat Iowa once. They beat them 15-13 on the back of 5 field goals. And in 2012, Iowa State led 9-3 at halftime and scored 0 points in the second half. Iowa, needing just 1 touchdown to take the lead and win, was unable to do so and lost 9-6. This game's going to be terrible. I'm going to love every single second of it because as a neutral observer, I love watching terrible football. I do. And it's important, neutral observer, because I am an Auburn graduate. I've watched a lot of bad football in recent years, and not 1 second of it was fun. But as a neutral observer, give it to me all day. Anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying that I think that Iowa State is going to cover the +4 against Iowa. Last week I talked bad about Iowa's offense, saying I didn't know if they could even score 23 points to cover against Utah State. They proved me wrong. They scored 24 points.
That's right.
Utah State still covered, though, so if you listened to that pick and stuck with the Utah State, well, you actually won money, which is not the object of this segment.
You'd love to lose money.
Yep.
And so far, you're not losing.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so the next one I got is Nebraska at Colorado. I think this is kind of an obvious one. This is a good one to start the day off. On one side, you got prime time, and on the other side, you got the rule breakers. Did you watch Nebraska last week, Steve?
I did not.
You missed out on an all-time way to just blow the game. It was great. all that to say, they blew another one-score lead. Stop me if you've heard that before. So if you ask me, I think the Huskers need to be dunked in some cold water because they are still defrosting. And because of that, I don't believe that they're going to beat Colorado. I think Colorado is going to cover the 2.5 and win this game. And what is a Big 8 rivalry that we really should have more of?
Well, they're about to be. Well, you know,
they're going back to the Big 12,
they're
I guess.
Going back to the Big 12, but
Nebraska,
Nebraska's, yeah.
Oh wait, there's no more spots anymore. They have all 16 spots filled now.
Yeah.
I guess they'll cry into their dollars, right?
Maybe they're still growing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a growing conference there in the Big Ten.
Maybe so, but I don't think Nebraska's going anywhere. I think they'll cry over the loss of their rivalries and their media money. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you telling me? I'm telling you, Colorado looks awfully interesting to the big boys, maybe.
They've already got a West Coast block now, so may as well add to it, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick pit stop for Auburn at Cal. You know, you got to talk about this one. I'll just come out and say it. I got Auburn covering 6.5. I mean, did you really expect anything different?
No.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. But I do want to point out that Auburn has won a couple of Pac-12 championships in recent seasons, so that really reinforces my pick here.
Do I need to remind Auburn fans the last time you played a game in the state of California?
Maybe, because I don't remember when that would have been.
Think national championship.
Yeah, no, we don't have to talk about that. But that was against an ACC team. Although Cal is now part of the ACC, so maybe that tracks. Yeah. Well, there was a little bit of noise there with one of the Cal running backs saying, people are focusing too much on the name for Auburn. Well, I think that Cal is the one focusing too much on the name. They're not going to focus enough on the game. Auburn's going to cover the 6.5 in Berkeley in a stadium that the Auburn faithful is going to take over. Write it down.
There you go. Write it down.
And then the final one, and then you'll finally have to stop hearing from me, everybody. You know this was coming too. Alabama versus Texas. I got a lot of fun stuff here, Steve. I got a lot.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Did you know that Texas has never, ever lost to Alabama in Tuscaloosa?
Your money or your life.
Ever. Now, please don't go and check that and see that they've only played in Tuscaloosa one time and that it was in 1902.
Yeah, I was about to say,
1902.
I've seen the notes, so.
Yeah, 121 years. However, they've also never lost to Alabama under a waning moon. So, I mean, I'm just finding reasons to pick the Longhorns piling up here. Yeah. But no. In all seriousness, last year's game was great. Really, really an all-time game. Pretty disappointing for me at the end there. But I think that Quinn Ewers is for real. And I think that this time he does not leave the game in the first half with an injury, which, if you ask me, seems to be a real winning strategy for Alabama when they play Texas, because the only two times that they've beaten Texas on the field, it's been against a backup quarterback. So I don't think Ewers gets cheap shotted this time. I think that he plays the full game. And because of that, I think that Alabama gets their first win over Texas against the starting quarterback. I think they're going to.
So you're going Bama, Auburn,
going Bama.
And then you had Ole Miss. Gosh.
Yeah.
You also
Colorado.
like Iowa?
Iowa
or did you like
State.
Iowa State? Iowa State.
State +4.
Cyclones.
That's my only underdog
over.
of the week.
There you go.
Yeah. So there you go. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I'm going to pick Alabama to cover until they don't. And even then, I'll probably still pick them the next time. Bet with your head, not your heart.
That is love to lose money. We do that each and every Fridays during the college football season. Thank you, Jackson. It is a Pick 2 Friday, so here's what we're playing for today. We are playing for 2 rounds of golf and a golf cart over at Gunter's Landing. Happy to report that they are next up on our zone deal. I would feature Metro Diner, but that sucker sold out in about 5 minutes this morning. There are still some other zone deals out there for you to partake in. We still have a smattering of Corlejos Mexican Grill. If you want to check that out this weekend, you get $50 for only $25, and a few other deals out there. But go ahead and populate the lines at 256-576-4977. Let's go ahead and take our first time out, and then your phone calls are next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
It is a Pick 2 Friday. The floor belongs to you, and you have responded in a big way. By the way, winner of Pick 2 last week, in case you're wondering, Doug was your winner, who went Florida State, North Carolina in 97. There was only one other person that went non-SEC across the board, and that was Jay, but he went 73. And I think the total for both Auburn and Alabama was in the 120s. I did not write it down, but I know Doug won last week. We start things off with Crimson Carl. How are you, Crimson Carl?
Hey, man, I'm doing great.
Outstanding.
How are y'all?
Doing real well.
All right, man. I'm just right down the road from Sparkman High School. I don't know if you know, but they've given up no points all year, so
it's crazy. So Sparkman is part of our streaming network, and Sparkman has yet to play a full game. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think they've scored like 90-something to 0.
Yeah. It was in the 60s last week, and then, 31-0 before, what happened with the knuckleheads there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I digress. How about this? Let's head into pick 2. Let's start off with Texas at Alabama. Who do you like, Crimson Carl?
Roll Tide.
Auburn at Cal.
We'll take them War Eagles.
And your tiebreaker is I want total rushing yards for both Auburn and Alabama. It feels like it is going to be really important for both the Tide and the Tigers to have a strong running game tomorrow. So I want one number for both Auburn and Alabama rushing yardage tomorrow.
Well, I've been on vacation all week, going to Florida and coming back, and I've run that road 331, so we're going to take 331.
It is yours. It's a great road, by the way, but depending on how populated it is by those that have sirens, but it's a great road. Thank you, Crimson Carl. Wolverine Dan, we were talking about you in the first segment. Congrats to your boys last night.
There's nobody in this town doing better than me. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, you've definitely had a better day than I've had. There's no doubt about that.
All right. No points calls the game. All right. First off, Campbell's got some stones inside his 20.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the bat, I go, this guy, he's in it to win it, okay?
Even that last fourth down that he went for it in the fourth quarter and didn't get it, I really liked that call. That was him telling his defense, I believe in you, and they sure enough got it done.
And, you know what? Here's the other thing, guys. I've been repetitive. Probably I said this in the other two shows, but on your station there. But listen, look at these rookies showing up. Okay, tell me that wasn't. I think the Lions. I want to say one of the top 5 drafts in this year's draft. Wouldn't you say?
Could be. Yeah, could. Especially if you saw what Gibbs produced out of the gate, and then also Branch as well. Is that the Detroit Roll Tiders up there?
Well, not so fast, young man. All right, there's also some Hawkeyes. All right, the tight end. I keep forgetting the guy's name, but that's the linebacker, Jack Campbell. The linebacker.
Come on, Ginger.
The meat missile. But then I'm talking about the tight end too from Iowa. Those guys played. They're and then get a trade for Montgomery. And he runs the ball in for a touchdown, and he ran the ball pretty strong.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman for Kansas City 74 had to block Hutchinson, which I wouldn't want to do it, okay? But the guy's a couple yards off the line of scrimmage. He was false starting all night long. I was screaming at the TV, and finally the announcers finally said, well, they finally caught him, indicating he was always offsides, okay? Always jumping the gun. Okay?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. The tackle, yeah.
Yeah, but the bottom line is this: you must agree with me. This team, the ownership is, and it's the daughter now that owns it. For crying out loud, you would think it would be the son. He never took over the reins of this team. For crying out loud, okay? But the bottom line is this: they're performing. They believe in their coach. They believe they can win the game. And, Goff said that wasn't even their best offensive performance, which it really wasn't. But we really have a defense now that's performing. And, Mahomes got all bent out of shape and everything because, he was getting pressure. Well, that's what defenses do that have an defensive line that can put pressure on the quarterback. He's a pro. He understands that, and he's scrambling for his life. But Hutchinson still almost got him a couple times, and I think we did sack him a couple times. So bottom line is this. I'm excited for the season. I won that bet. I'm going to go to the casino when I go back up north and get my cash. And then the bigger bet, double down on the Lions to win their division. And Steve, I think that's going to happen.
I am cautiously optimistic for you, but I am really intrigued with how Chicago might look. And the first weekend, a lot of people draw a lot of conclusions about the season. But yes, I am cautiously optimistic about the Lions and what they were able to accomplish last night. You should be very excited about your team.
Well, I am. And all your listeners, no one gave me any chance and everything. But,
wait a second. Whoa. Pump the brakes there. We were talking Lions at the end of the regular season last year. Come on now.
Well, all right. Well, that's because they punked Green Bay at their place.
Not the only reason. I thought it was a kickstart to this year, and it was a nice start. It would have been nicer had the Lions beaten with Travis Kelce and Chris Jones out there, but you only play with who's out there to be playing against, so kudos to the Lions for getting it done.
Well, exactly. No, with that said, I haven't done it in a while. Let me try pick two. Why not?
That's right. There for a while, you were always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but then you rattled off about 7 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, I nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get married again. Let's do it.
Horns at the Elephants. Who do you like?
Oh, God, I hate doing this. The Elephants.
Auburn at Cal. Who do you like?
Jet lag. I'm taking the Bears.
And total rushing yards for the Tide and Tigers to give me one number.
Well, I meant California when I said Bears.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I wrote down Cal.
Total yards?
Rushing yards. Rushing yards, total.
Rushing yards. Well, you know what? I think how about 340?
340 is yours.
Okay, all right, man.
Have a great weekend, Dan. I know it will be.
Go Blue. See it.
Let's see here. Mark is gone. Badger Larry is up next. How are you, Badger Larry?
I had to listen to this all day on the golf course first.
Oh, I bet you did. Oh, mercy. You played with Dan today? Oh.
Yeah.
That's hazard pay right there.
Yeah. So now I had to sit through this whole spiel for the last 15 minutes, listening to him some more. So his number one player for the Detroit Lions is number 19 of the Kansas City Chiefs. If it wasn't for him, they'd have got beat. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Cost them the game. But regardless of all that, we'll see about this division thing. I'm not giving up on that yet. So
fair enough. You want to hop on pick two?
I do.
Texas at Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Auburn at Cal.
Yeah, I think Auburn will pull that out.
Total rushing yards for the Tide and Tigers is your tiebreaker.
I think everybody's a little low on that. I'm gonna go with 451.
I like that. I like that number. Very well thought out Badger type of number there for Badger Larry.
Well, we got Washington State tomorrow. We'll see. We'll get a little better test tomorrow. Got one of them Pac-12 or
Pac-2
schools.
Wait, that's one of it's one of the final two. Yeah, Washington State and Oregon State.
We'll see how that
Enjoy
goes.
it. Always great to hear from you, Badger Larry. You too. Let's talk to Tony up next on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Tony? Are you there, Tony? Or is this Bryce or James?
James is here. Can you hear me?
James. That is my mistake. So that is not on the producer. That's on me. I said the wrong name. My apologies.
Hello.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. I'll be quick. I'm out here about to go into the Buckhorn Stadium. Go Bucks.
There you go.
High school football tonight.
Look for a good bounce back tonight, hopefully. But yeah, this is when you want to play your best, when region play starts.
No doubt. Senior night. So hopefully.
Did you say senior night?
It is senior night for the Bucks.
It's September the 8th.
I know they've done it like this the last couple of years, real early. I don't know, but it is.
That is interesting.
First home game, no doubt.
Okay. I guess it might be a way to honor them throughout the year, but that's the first time I've heard of that. That's interesting to me.
It is very early for a senior night, no doubt.
Texas at Bama. Who you got, James?
I gotta go Texas. I'm an Auburn graduate. Let me go Texas. Hook 'em horns.
Hook them, indeed. Auburn is at California.
You guys, this is gonna be a blowout. I'm telling you, it's gonna be. I would take minus 24.5. Auburn.
Really?
Yes, it's gonna be a blowout. It was Hugh Freeze. Just wait.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to write down 24. If you actually hit that, I may have something in the kitty for you. If you don't win pick 2. Your total of rushing yardage for both Auburn and Alabama.
I've got 422.
422 is yours, James.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good weekend. And enjoy that high school Friday Night Lights up there in Newmarket. Now Tony is up next. My apologies, Tony.
Hey, no problem at all. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. That last caller saying that Auburn was going to blow out Cal. That's trying to get over the giggles here. That's obviously not going to happen. So yeah, I'm ready to go. Oh, I was going to tell you, I'm a first time caller. And
fantastic!
Kind of a first-time listener too. I got my job changed, so I'll be listening to you guys daily now.
I appreciate you listening. Seriously, I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity. And yeah, by all means, call in, tell us what you like and what you don't like. Honestly,
absolutely. You've done the UAH games before, right?
This will be my 19th year. Coming up this fall. So, yes.
I've sat behind you a few times.
So, yeah, I've never been accused of people not being able to hear me calling games.
I recognize the voice, absolutely.
I appreciate the words there. Let's dive into it. Texas at Bama. Who you got, Tony?
Got to go with Bama. Roll Tide.
And Auburn at Cal.
I will never pull for Auburn. I don't care if they're playing a high school team. Let's go Cal.
Total rushing yards for both the Tide and the Tigers.
All right. Well, the Bible verse my children are learning this week is 1 Corinthians 3:16, so we're going 3:16.
That's a fantastic verse.
Absolutely.
Well, are you heading to any Friday Night Lights tonight, or are you just prepping up for tomorrow?
We're going to the Trash Pandas game tonight.
Nice. It is the final homestand of the year. It's hard to believe, but
it is, and they're doing the Stars thing tonight, so we got our Stars shirts on.
Outstanding. That's a really. They do a lot of cool promotions out there, and we appreciate the Trash Pandas. They're a really good partner with us, so really appreciate the Trash Pandas. I have no doubt that you'll have fun tonight, and the weather is just gorgeous. So
Absolutely.
Have fun tonight over at the old ballpark.
I sure will, and hey, I'll be listening to you guys daily now, and you might even get a few calls from Tony.
Please, don't be a stranger,
right,
Tony.
Will not. Y'all have a good one.
There you go. First time caller there. Tony doesn't know that I say "Go Dogs" every single time I hear an RTR. But no, it is what it is. Bryce, is this Bryce Old, by the way? Bryce, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Bryce Old. How you been?
I've been good. Listen, I'm glad I didn't have to follow that Auburn graduate.
I commend him for putting his chips all in. But the way Cal ran it against North Texas last week just makes me nervous, just as an outside observer. But listen, Auburn could be humming and win by 24, and that'd be great for the Southeastern Conference, because we could sure use some big wins after last week.
Yeah, well, I just have. You must be flying solo today. Wes is already in T-Town, I guess.
He is in Tuscaloosa. Yes, I am flying a solo.
And you calling the Huntsville game tonight, huh?
No, sir. I am calling the Madison Academy game against J.B. Pennington on Zone 2. Todd Blass will actually be calling our game of the week with our partners over at ETV. And you'll be able to watch it on ETV, and just know that what you hear will also be on Zone 5 tonight as well with Coach Woods and Todd Blass.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm supposed to pick my two games, huh?
You know the drill. This is not your first dance, Bryce.
Right.
Bama hosting them Horns. Who you got?
I got Roll Tide. I think they're going to bust them in the mouth.
By 24?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say what they're going to win by, but they're going to come out and bust them in the mouth. I think they're covering. It could be more.
All right. The last I checked, it was still I think it was up to 7.5. I saw in a couple of books. Auburn at Cal. Auburn steady at 6.5. But we're looking for winners, because we want winners.
I got Cal in them points.
Total rushing yards for the Tide and the Tigers. Tide and Tigers rushing yardage, to give me one number, Bryce.
350.
350 is yours. Thank you, Bryce.
What I win?
Well, you have to wait till Monday.
What will I win?
2 rounds of golf and a golf cart over at Gunner's Landing is this week's prize.
That'll be a pretty nice little package, won't it?
Yes, it will. It's a beautiful course over there.
I hated I missed Wes, but I'm sure he's having a good time wherever he's at.
There is no doubt about that.
Have y'all talked to any LSU people since the debacle the other night? T-Rob, any of them?
So, no, I have not heard from LSU Lynch. I've not heard. What's that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I tell you.
No. I was trying to think of some other LSU callers, but no, we have not been bombarded by LSU Nation.
Oh, and somebody that made the rounds at any of the shows this week is Digger.
Is who?
Digger. I think he's called y'all show. The guy from Louisiana, from Baton Rouge, it's a big Texas fan.
No, he doesn't. He does not call. Does he? Now I'm starting to question my own sanity. There, Bryce.
I thought he did when I thought Steve just. Not Steve. I thought Wes got a hoot out of that deal.
Could very well be the case.
A lot of smack.
Could very well be the case.
But he hadn't called any of the shows that I listened to, like Wimp and Barry and he hadn't called any of them. The Fowler, he hadn't called any of them.
Well, they are just going into the witness protection program until something else happens.
They are the most. I don't know if you've ever been to a Texas game. They're the most arrogant, rudest fans that you ever want to meet in your life. They think they're entitled.
I have not.
Well, Aggie fans are just down to earth. I went to a lot of Aggie.
Yeah. I've been to plenty of Aggie games, and they're just as nice as you can be. Just don't step on the grass. Don't step on the grass.
Or they'll pull a sword on you.
Don't step on the grass.
Oh, I didn't know that about the grass, but
yeah,
I know if you're beating them 40 to nothing, they're still doing that wave, though.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Bryce. Appreciate the phone call. Sean, let's squeeze you in before our final timeout here he bailed. Sean, maybe you can sneak back in, but the phone lines are open for you. We've only got 2 more segments for a Pick 2 Friday. Winner will get 2 rounds of golf and a golf cart at Gunner's Landing.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Have a drink at the Open Bottle, a copious selection of wine, spirits, and craft beer from around the world. They've got a full bar, wine by the glass, craft cocktails, premium bourbon, 48 specialty beers on tap, and a smart staff with hustle. There's an expansive, comfortable patio with a brand new performance stage and live music every night from local artists like Lamont Landers, Rob Aldridge, and James Irvin. There's space for your next celebration or corporate event. The Open Bottle on Highway 72 near Slaughter Road intersection in Madison.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So you don't have to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com. So, what's your favorite meal at Chick-fil-A? We decided to ask the experts at the South Memorial Chick-fil-A.
Hi, my name is Talon from the South Memorial Chick-fil-A. My favorite meal is a 3-count strip with Polynesian sauce, waffle fries, and a Coke Zero.
Hi, my name is Noah from the South Memorial Parkway Chick-fil-A. My favorite meal is the number 2 spicy sandwich meal with mac and cheese and bacon and a lemonade.
So, what's your favorite meal? Now, find out for yourself today at the South Memorial Chick-fil-A.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Welcome back. Stan McDonald from the Stanton Law Firm. I had lunch with Lewis just recently and with a client of ours, a mutual client, and great to hear all the good things going on at the Stanton Law Firm.
Thank you, Wes. The Stanton Law Firm, as you know, we've discussed before, we're dirt lawyers. We do a lot of real estate, litigation and closing. And yes, my son Lewis McDonald enjoyed meeting you a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of your friends. He is, as you know, he's opened up a commercial closing division. So he's really helping a lot of people who are trying to close, buy, or sell on their commercial property. And you can't be in this community doing business without knowing Wes neighbors.
I don't know about that, but it sure was getting to meet another McDonald and talking a little bit about his grandfather, Coach Dye, and the different things. It was a lot of fun.
Well, your listeners are really going to enjoy meeting Lewis and you in this community. And like I said, at Jacob Title or the Stanton Law Firm, we close business. We do some good commercial closings, residential closings. We appreciate being part of your show.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. We drop into the mid 60s through the overnight. A beautiful Saturday afternoon across the Tennessee Valley. A mostly to partly sunny sky. Maybe an isolated shower, but I'm fairly confident we're going to end up staying dry. Temperatures once again climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Mid 60s through the overnight, early into your Sunday morning. Much the same for Sunday afternoon. A mostly sunny sky. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen each Friday to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Coming up next hour, had a chance to talk to Mark Russell, who is the executive director of the Huntsville Sports Commission, also played for Huntsville High School, talked a little officiating, talked a little Huntsville Grissom. That game you will be able to hear on Zone 5. That game is on Zone 5, Huntsville Grissom, tonight, right here on our streaming network. Let's do some rapid fire, shall we? It's a Pick 2 Friday. Jim is next up. How are you, Jim?
Hey, Stevie Dog. How you doing, man?
I am in front. I'm in a press box. I got a scoreboard to my left. I got 2 football teams. Actually, one warming up right now. It's J.B. Pennington. That's a long way to say I'm really good.
Smells like popcorn and hot dogs, though, don't it?
Amen. And if I'm lucky, the grill might be firing up some burgers as well. I might sneak down there.
Man, that sounds good. I talked to you last week, and I'd fixed up them baby back ribs and stuff, and I was on about that. Wait a minute now. I was on about the 5th rib, and I thought, Steve would sure like to have one of those ribs.
Why did it take you till the 5th rib? I mean...
I couldn't talk. My mouth was too full.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway,
at least you were thinking about me once your belly was full.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'm thinking about a little brisket flat for you tomorrow, too, about 7.
Come on now.
Okay, I'd like to do Pick 2, please.
Yes, sir. Bama, Texas.
Let's go with Bama.
Auburn at Cal.
I'll take Auburn.
And total rushing yards for both the Tide and the Tigers is your tiebreaker.
Rushing yards. I'll go with 337.
337. That is yours, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
Think of me next time you're eating brisket. Chad is up next. What do you say, Chad?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. And I'm about to play softball pretty soon.
Whew. Well, that way you can burn it off and then, pack it on before you go to bed.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering about my Braves. If are they going to be in trouble this coming up weekend with the Pirates?
I'd like to think not, but I would really love some more consistency out of Spencer Strider. I've about given up on Mike Soroka. I hate that for that young man because he had such a fabulous start. And to go through what he's gone through just to get more numbness. And also, the other news this week is evidently Austin Riley was battling a bug. Well, you'd never know it by the way he's been raking. So maybe he needs a permanent bug. But, I mean, I like that. It is such a strange time to be a Braves fan because even when it was, what was it the other night? I think it was 6-0 against the Cardinals. I still thought, we still have 4 or 5 more at-bats, and sure enough, every time the Braves would answer, the Cardinals would answer, but I think the Braves are shaping up, and it's Snit. I believe in Snit as well as Anthopoulos. That's a good organization.
I think they probably should just go ahead and switch Soroka to maybe a reliever, mid-reliever, something like that.
Something. I mean, yes. I mean, I would just like him to be healthy.
Yeah. I like to get on this pick 2.
Yes, sir. Bama, Texas.
Bama.
Auburn, Cal.
Auburn.
Total rushing yards for the Tide and Tigers.
And that's between both teams, right?
Both, Auburn and Alabama. To give me one number. Yes, sir.
950.
Woo! Are we going to go veer? I know they're going to be run heavy, so you're almost putting a thou right there between the Tide and the Tigers.
Yeah. I think both of them will run for a lot of yards on Saturday.
Should be fun to watch. Thank you, Chad. Dan and Shane Sean will start off the final hour of the week with you right after this Sports Center timeout. We'll be back.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
In a Wrigley Field, beating the Cubs 1-0. Arizona is currently a game up on both Miami and Cincinnati for the final wild card spot. The Marlins are in Philadelphia tonight while the Reds host the Cardinals. St. Louis has jumped out to a 3-0 first-inning lead. Tomorrow's Diamondbacks-Cubs contest can be heard on ESPN Radio. Dodgers outfielder Mookie Betts is expected to miss his team's weekend series with the Nationals Betts fouled a ball off his left foot last night. To football, where Rams receiver Cooper Kupp is out for Sunday's opener against the Seahawks, and he may miss even more time. But Sean McVay said today there is, in his words, a definite possibility Kupp could be placed on injured reserve. He has been dealing with a hamstring problem. Packers wideout Christian Watson is out for his team's opener Sunday against the Bears. He is also dealing with a hamstring injury. The Giants have given kicker Graham Gano a 3-year extension. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are dissecting what went wrong after their opening night loss to the Lions. ESPN's Dan Graziano says it's no time to panic in Kansas City.
It's a 1-point loss without their second and third best players. You can easily say if those guys were on the field, they win that game. I don't think that's at all controversial.
The Chiefs play the Jaguars in Week 2. Novak Djokovic is on his way to the U.S. Open Finals. Djokovic punched his ticket with a straight-set win over American Ben Shelton. Djokovic will meet the winner of the other semifinal between top seed Carlos Alcaraz and Daniil Medvedev. That semifinal is just about set to get underway on ESPN. FIBA Basketball World Cup semifinals, the U.S. upset by Germany 113-111.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman. Coming up on Monday, I'll tell you all the small things I saw this weekend that you need to know. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
.97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Final hour of the week is upon us. Walking you up to Buckhorn football over the airwaves of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Tom Abraham will have the play-by-play call there. I will be over on Zone 2. Download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store to listen to Madison Academy taking on J.B. Pennington in a region matchup. Zone 3 will feature Randolph as they are at JP2, which is over at Discovery Middle School, as the bandy man Bailey Lowry and Drudy Arman will have the call there. Over on Zone 4, that's going to be Sparkman Senators, as they have just started off as hot as any team. They will be taking on the Austin Black Bears. John and Joe Abraham will have the call there. And Zone 5 is our game of the week in our partnership with ETV. It is the rivalry that is Huntsville-Grissom, and we'll have that action for you. Todd Blass and Coach Tony Woods will have the call there. Again, thank you to our partners at ETV for partnering with us again for another season. Ben Shelton, I don't know if you were paying attention in that SportsCenter update, made it to the semifinals of the men's side of the U.S. Open, got bounced by Novak Djokovic, and all he is just, he's an incredible tennis player. But kudos to Ben Shelton. His dad is from this area, and hopefully we can get Ben on here in the coming days to talk about the run at the U.S. Open. Lost in the final set 7-6 in a tiebreaker to Djokovic. But congratulations to Ben on a heck of a run. All right, the floor is yours. My spiel is out of the way. Dan from Athens, how are you, sir?
Doing fine, Steve. Question for you.
Yes, sir.
What's the rule in the SEC? What's the rule in the SEC relative to the seating of fans and bands?
Is this for conference or non-conference?
For conference.
I want to say it has to be an 80-20 split from what I remember reading. At least you give tickets to the opposition to sell, but then if they don't sell their allotment, they'll have to return those tickets to the host school. I think that's what I remember reading. I want to say they try to allot 20% of their capacity.
Okay. I thought it was funny that Alabama's returning the Texas favor and putting them in the upper decks. Of course, they're non-conference right now.
Yes.
But
for now.
Yeah.
Yes. Had this been next year, then the band would have been in the lower bowl.
Yeah, I was kind of presuming that, but I didn't know exactly what the rule was.
Yeah.
So let's knock out the picks.
You got it. Bama, Texas.
Yeah, Bama by a couple touchdowns. Auburn, I think, is going to be able to run on Cal, and so they'll beat Cal. And 417 for a number.
417. It is yours, Dan. I appreciate your patience, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great weekend. Let's talk to Shane Sean, who got back in line. How are you, Shane Sean?
I'm good. I just want to get on the pick. That way everybody else can get in.
Fair enough. Bama or Hook'em?
I'm going to take Bama, Auburn, and 427.
427. That is yours.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. 256-457-2523. Bama Bino. What do you say there, Bama Bino?
Hey, Steve. We're lucky enough to have another Saturday come about on college football day.
There you go.
If we make it
So I've always kind of had this little agreement with the man upstairs, and I call it the Bino Cook agreement. Bino Cook always said, listen, there's 100% chance that we're all gonna, go upstairs. But if you could just not make it during college football season, that would be my one caveat. If a season starts, dear Lord, let me finish it. That's all I ask.
That's the truth. That's a good one, too. Yeah, you got some good saying. I just want to tell you, still appreciate you guys putting the work in, and I can't never remember that. What was that guy's name again that was flying all over the ball Saturday? Is it Lawson?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got it.
But he was in on every play. I mean, he was mostly in or he was around every play.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he swarmed everywhere, and I'm impressed.
You should be.
Is it DJ? Is that his name?
Oh gosh.
Dijon or something. But anyway, gosh, he's gonna be a handful for them if he stays healthy.
Yes. I am punting to the two deep chart. It's Deontay Lawson. Deontay,
man, he is something. He's so impressed me.
That's number 32 in your programs, ladies and gentlemen.
Seemed like he had a different number last year, and that may be why I don't remember him. Seemed like he had a 30 or something like that.
Could very well be the case.
But my dad and mom's going to watch Sylvania and Sachs play, and of course my brother-in-law and his team doctor at Fife, and my nephew still does play-by-play Fife with his brother-in-law, Adam Ward, through Sims. So I'm just staying at home. Me and my buddy Charles Carter thinking about going to the game tomorrow, so I'm going to just rest.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I didn't get our pick 2 last week because LSU kind of let me down, but I had 90. I had 90 on it with North Carolina and LSU, and if LSU won, I imagine I'd have got pretty close on that 90.
It was, I think, Bama scored 59, and Auburn scored. No, wait a second. Auburn scored 59, and Bama scored 56. So it was well over 100. Yeah.
But I didn't remember me calling in and saying over 90. They might have been some. But anyway, y'all keep up the good work. And
do you want to hop on pick 2?
No. Who is it next? It's Alabama and Auburn.
It is, it's Bama and Texas, Auburn and Cal, and total rushing yards for both the Tide and the Tigers.
I'm going to hold off. I don't want only embarrass myself. I don't know enough about Cal.
Oh, come on. I'm embarrassing myself every day on here. I want some company. I want some company.
I'm going to say 75 on Bama and Auburn and total yards rushing for who?
It is total rushing yards for both Auburn and Alabama to give me one number.
420.
It is yours.
All right.
Thank you, Bama Bino. Dwayne is next on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What do you say, Dwayne?
Hey, roll Tide.
Go Dogs.
I was
War
going
Eagle.
to call in. Try to get in on the big... Who was that?
That's our producer, Jackson, who's a graduate of Auburn University.
Graduate of the University of Alabama, so that's we'll go with
there you
that
go.
too. So anyway, I'd like to get on the pick 2 if I could.
Absolutely. Bama or Texas?
Alabama.
Auburn or Cal?
Cal.
Total rushing yards for both the Tide and the Tigers.
I'm going to say my favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:13, so we're going to go with 4:13.
I like it. I like it. Very nice. Appreciate you listening and calling in, Dwayne.
Thank you.
256-576-4977. The telephone number. This is your final call for phone calls. I don't know if you heard this last night. I was going to try to squeeze this in where I can, and you've given me the opportunity. Campbell called into the Nick Saban show last night. Here is what Campbell had to say.
Campbell is on the phone in Alberta, Alabama. Hello, Campbell.
Hey, Coach
Campbell.
Saban, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm really good now that I'm talking to you. So I'm in 10U, and I have my first game on Saturday in tackle football, and I want to know the best way that I can be where my feet are.
Oh, just look down right now. If you look down, that's what be where your feet are means. You look down and you say, I'm on the field. This is what I need to do on the field. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen next week. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen in the next game. I'm thinking about what's going to happen on the next play. That's what be where your feet are. Just like when you're in school, you look down, I'm in school. I need to be focused on whatever class I'm in, all right, so I can do what I need to do. I don't need to be daydreaming about what I'm going to do when practice comes. All right, that's not being where your feet are. Being where your feet are is you're taking advantage of the moment that you're in. So when you're playing, you want to be focused on playing. You don't want to be looking in the stands to see where your girlfriend's sitting. You want to be focused on the play.
He's 10. Coach, does he have a girlfriend?
I don't know. Philosophical
Campbell?
questions. I'm just going on my experience. When I was 10, I was looking in the stands to see where Miss Terry was.
There you go. So there you go. Be where your feet are there, Campbell, from Coach Nick Saban. Let's squeeze in a couple of calls before we cut loose, and we will hear from Mark Russell in our next segment to talk a little bit more about the Huntsville-Grissom matchup. Mark is up next. How are you, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing well, Steve. I guess I'll do the pick 2.
You got it. Bama or Texas?
I like Bama, and I like California.
You got it.
And just real quick, I think Miami will upset A&M, by the way.
Ooh, we don't need that. We don't need that. As a conference, we don't need that.
Well, they got an SEC coach at Miami, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, total rushing yards will be 230 combined.
Combined? You think 230?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Wow.
That's
So
it.
you think Cal is going to shut down Auburn?
Well, no, I think Auburn will get more than Alabama. I think Alabama is going to be throwing about 9 out of 10 plays, short passes, and just keeping the ball that way.
I could be way off base here, completely way off base. Jalen Milroe might rush for 115 by himself tomorrow.
He could, but I just think they're going to use his arm and surprise Texas. They're going to take away the run.
You could be spot on.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Nick is next. What do you say, Nick?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I just have to do the pick 2.
You got it. Bama or Texas?
Roll Tide.
Auburn or Cal?
Give me Auburn.
Total rushing yards for both the Tide and the Tigers?
464.
464. Thank you, Nick. And we are going to close out with Keith. Keith, the floor is yours.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
I'm good. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you, Steve. I just want to get on pick 2.
You got it. Texas or Alabama?
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Auburn or Cal?
Going with California.
Total rushing yards for the Tide and the Tigers?
511.
It is yours. Best of luck to you, Keith. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. We're going to hear from Mark Russell. He is the executive director of the Huntsville Sports Commission. He is also the official of the year from the AHSAA, and he's also in the past suited up in the Huntsville-Grissom matchup.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process